Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here with another video on Pokemon Sword and Shield. We're actually so close to the release, so I'm very excited about that. In this video, I'll be talking about Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing and basically what we know so far about it. And as well as some information that's not out there just yet publicly. So, if you do consider that spoilers, don't watch the video, obviously. Otherwise, stay tuned. And thank you so much, guys, for all the support on these recent videos. I'm so excited about Pokemon Sword and Shield. And I can't wait to upload the Wi-Fi battles, the moveset guides, and all that stuff. Basically starts tomorrow. Showdown Live's gonna be starting tomorrow. Wi-Fi battles might take a couple days just because, obviously, I have to get Pokemon. But, yeah. This game about to be out. But let's talk about Dynamaxing real quick. So we're on Cerebi.net, and I'll just explain it super quickly, but basically it's the new thing for Pokemon that makes your Pokemon grow to giant proportions in battle, and this only happens for 3 turns. You can only do it once. You need a special Dynamax band in order to do it. We're on Cerebi.net, by the way. When you're Dynamax, it turns your moves into max moves, and the moves vary depending on the type of the move and the category. Status moves also turn into max guard, and while damaging moves turn into different moves based on their type with effects, and I'll go over that in a sec. And I'll be giving you guys more information on this soon. Don't worry, in this video. And there's also Gigantamaxing, which specific Pokemon can do. They get new forms, and they get specific new moves called G-Max moves. And that's about it when it comes to Dynamaxing. Now, obviously, we have the descriptions of the Dynamax moves. Specific type moves getting a specific move, while status moves also become a different one. And we'll just go for it real quick, but basically, max airstream, your flying type attacks give you a speed boost. Max darkness, all your dark type attacks lowers the target's special defense while doing damage. They all do damage while doing that. Max flare activates harsh sunlight, so it gets up the sun. Max geyser activates the rain, and max guard protects you from all attacks, and it's just like protect, it fails in succession. Max ice sets hail while also doing damage. Max knuckle is a fighting type attack that hits them while also raising attack. I'm gonna stop saying that they do damage because all these moves do damage, but they have their secondary effect. Max lightning activates electric terrain. Max overgrowth activates grassy terrain. Max rockfall activates sandstorm. Max starfall activates misty terrain. Max steel spike boosts the user's defense, and max strike lowers the user's speed stat. As you can see next to it, it has all the typings of what they actually are. So max steel spike is a steel type attack that does damage, but also boosts the user's defense. And of course, we also have the G-Max stuff, and I'll talk about that in a sec too. But now to explain Dynamaxing so you guys can understand a little bit more in depth about it. So this image is from Cerebi's Twitter, and it was posted in June. And it showed a Corviknight in the game, and it had a Dynamax level. We didn't know what Dynamax level meant, but there were basically 10 little, what is it, ticks or whatever it's called, right here. And I'm about to explain it. So Dynamax is measured in levels, and 10 levels is the highest you can get. 10 candies, Dynamax candies, will max out your Dynamax level, and you can get Dynamax candies by completing max raids throughout the game, as well as various other rewards, including TMs, maybe rare candies, and like those experience little candies as well. So that's all stuff you have. When you have 10 levels, when you are max Dynamax level, your HP is doubled when you Dynamax. It is completely doubled when you Dynamax. So, for example, a Charizard with 300 HP, if it Dynamax, it would have 600 HP when it Dynamax. That's the that's basically like the explanation of that. And the weaker your levels, the less HP you actually get. But for the most part, I'm just going to focus on the main thing because I'm assuming because we're all playing competitive, it will just auto set us to max, at least on Showdown, and maybe on Wi-Fi, it actually depend on that. But obviously we know they don't miss, the moves don't miss. You can hold items by Dynamaxing as well, and they still work. So in my source, basically used a Life Orb on a Charizard, and Charizard still took Life Orb damage when it went for its Dynamax move. However, now this is interesting because it has to do with choice items. A choice scarf was tested on a Dynamax Pokemon, and the Dynamax Pokemon was still able to switch up its moves. We don't know if it got the speed boost though, and obviously outside of Dynamax you would be locked into one move. But if you Dynamax immediately with your choice, like if that was like you send out a choice item, choice mon, and it Dynamax immediately. So if you guys don't know, choice band, choice scarf, choice specs, they boost a specific stat. Speed is the scarf, band is attack, and the specs is special attack, but you're locked into one move that you click. But if you click Dynamax immediately when you get into battle with a choice item mon, and then you click your move after, you can actually switch a moves because you haven't technically clicked a real move. So that's interesting. I don't know. This is something to speculate and to think about, and y'all can let me know your thoughts. I don't know if you still receive the speed boost from a choice scarf, or you still receive the attack boost from a choice band while you're actually in the middle of Dynamaxing. I do know that you took life orb damage, and I do know that items still work, but maybe with choice items they did something differently with it. Another thing about Dynamaxing that I don't think was shown, but it uses the PP of the actual move. To explain, Fire Blast has 8 PP when it is maxed out, 5 PP if you don't have any PP maxes or PP ups. If you've used 3 Fire Blasts in the battle already and then you Dynamax, if you use 3 Fire Blasts in battle, let's say you get 5 PP, you only have 2 power points on Fire Blast, right? That's all you have left. Now if you Dynamax and that becomes, what is it called? Max Fire? Max Flare, excuse me. If you Dynamax and it becomes Max Flare, which is again a fire type attack that that will summon the sun as well after doing damage, you will only have 2 PP on that Max Flare for Fire Blast. And once you use that, you have 1 PP left, and even when it reverts back to from the Dynamax form, assuming the battle isn't over and you reform back to Dynamax form, you will still have 1 PP on that move, basically. So if you run out of PP on a move in Dynamax, you can't use it in real form. It's not like Z-moves where it had only 1 PP and it wasn't using the same power points as the actual move itself. So that's definitely a difference for it. But yeah, we don't know if how choice items necessarily work in it. And if you give you a choice band and you can switch up moves, that's broken. I'll be honest, that's broken. So another thing about the base power of it, and this is a lot of people wondering about this, but Dynamax moves cap out at 140 base power. That is the most they can get. So that's not too bad. That is not too bad. That's not necessarily broken. Z moves can go up to like 2 something or 200, right? And then we have like other ones are like 180, 160. So 140 isn't too bad. We had some powerful moves like that actually got nerfed from, like, for example, just to show you as an example, Brave Bird went from 120 base power to 140 when Dynamax. Overheat went from 130 to 140. Overheat used to be 140 back in the day. And then Flamethrower went from 90 to 130 though. So it seems that there are levels based on the actual attack, and it seems to be based on the original attack's power plus the effect of Dynamax move. And what do I mean by that? So the effect of Dynamax move actually determines the power as well. And an example I have here is that Close Combat, which is 120 base power normally, becomes Max Knuckle, which is a fighting type attack that raises your attack by +1 after you use it. So you go for your damage and then you get a +1 attack raise. But Close Combat, which is normally 120, actually went to 95 base power when Dynamaxed. And I think that was like their way of kind of balancing it, because imagine a Close Combat went up from 120 to 140 and also gave you an attack raise on top of that. So next turn you're hitting with your 140 base power move and your +1 attack. So I think that was the way they actually weakened it. Moves that give you, like, give your opponent defense drops or give you speed seem to be fine though. So going back to the flying type one, which is Max Airstream, which boosts the user speed. Again, that was Brave Bird. It went from 120 to 140. It seemed to be fine. I don't know the exact like level difference or the exact power point that actually determines which one is what is it called? Which one is like, I don't know if 90 base power always means that it is 130, right? I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that's how it would work, but a lot more testing is obviously needed by these people. And of course, I'll be able to actually test with people over Wi-Fi once the game officially drops on Thursday night, Friday, whatever, depending on what you have your region set to. But yeah, that's kind of what we know from there. And I think that's really, really interesting, because also another big thing is that moves still get buffed. Don't get me wrong. Max Knuckle, Brick Break, and Brick Break is 75 base power. Because I just talked about if it gives you an attack raise, it might lower it. But I think that's only if you're above the threshold. I think the threshold seems to be like 100 or so. So max power, Brick Break, which is again 75 base power normally, went to 90 base power. Whereas, like I said, Close Combat went from 120 to 95. And yeah, so that's basically what we know about Dynamaxing. And of course, there's also Gigantamaxing, which is very similar. It's just used on a specific Pokemon, and then they have again these moves. Now, when a Gigantamax Charizard, and I'm just using Charizard as an example because this is what I was shown. When a Gigantamax Charizard went for Gmax Wildfire, from Flamethrower, it went from, again, 130 to 140. So it seems like the specific mons that actually get their new forms, and new forms is just for aesthetics. It's the thing that matters is their moves with the abilities. But when it went for that, it didn't increase, like, it didn't make a huge difference. As in, like, I'm sure if a regular Charizard used Gmax Flamethrower, it'd still be from 90 base power to 130. But the big thing is obviously the fact that these mons have secondary effects that are pretty crazy. So yeah, so when it was Flamethrower was used, it still went to 130. When Overheat was used, it went to 140. And that's basically all we know. But yeah, that's it. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Definitely, I don't know. In terms of, will this be more broken than Z-moves? I don't know. They're obviously not as strong. Everybody has access to it. You can react on the fly, which is pretty cool too. Whereas I don't have to worry about going out into my... I always give the Zapdos Kartana answer, but I don't have to worry about going out to Zapdos. My should be 100% counter to Kartana. They Swords Dance and Z Giga Impact me with 200 base power moves, right? I don't have to worry about that sort of thing. And you are limited to 3 turns, and you know, that's, I don't know. I truly think I have to play the game and the competitive side to actually understand how this is going to work, but it doesn't seem as broken as people thought it would be. Obviously, the increase in HP is kind of crazy for certain mons. Imagine Toxbex doubling from, what is it, 304 to 608? I think it's 304. Might be 301 or something like that. But so it's a 600 HP essentially, right? And to be able to live like a +2 Earthquake from Max Bureau, I think that'd be pretty broken for all defensive mons. But even for offensive mons, I think it would be really nice too, because offensive mons are typically glass cannons, or some of them can be, or they don't have the best defense. And this obviously helps them out. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Later today, I'll have my final Showdown live for Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon, and tomorrow we start, guys. Pokemon Sword and Shield. I'll be uploading, like I said, a moveset guides. I'll be uploading moveset guides on Pokemon. I'll hopefully be uploading a Showdown live as well. And I'm going to do my best to do a Wi-Fi battle, but I doubt I'll be able to do a Wi-Fi battle day one. First off, who else is going to have Pokemon? That's it. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, my friends.